How to put down and let go of everything in this world, the temptations of short-term pleasure that leads to nothing. You can try and ask yourself just one question till you reach the end where there's no more answer. And then what? And then what? You answer and then you continuously ask, and then what? And then you will come to a conclusion that you are no different than anybody else, the rich, the poor, the average. You go through the same thing. Nothing is different. And it's really not helpful. This is not where you want to be. You're constantly stuck in the sixth realm of heaven, earth, hell, devil, animal, Atula. It's an endless cycle of suffering. One eating another to live. Then they come back and they become a stronger being. Could be they become a human and you now an animal, and you become their food chain. It is endless, and you have to pay it when you're in hell. There's no such thing as doing bad, committing a crime, and not going to jail. Well, maybe you can get away with not going to jail when you're a human if you don't get caught. But when you die, you cannot lie. To the mirror of truth, it will show you exactly what you've done. This is for the people who wants to know how to put down everything of this temporary world and reach nirvana, enlightenment. The main method is the method of opening the doors of spiritual wisdom for sentient beings, for any beings in the universe who can respond to sensation, sight, to hearing, touch, taste, smell, a conscious ability to have feelings. The mind and hearts of a sentient beings are very diverse in thousands. So the Buddha also follows that there are many subjects to respond appropriately to the sentient beings. The therapeutical method is also in the flexible, adaptable thousands of the particular beings need of a cure. Just like a sick person, there are different types of medication, treatment, depending on what they need. Not everyone is the same. Some are in sickness of greed. Others, anger management. Desires, strong desires. Everyone is different. So before we're able to open the doors to our spiritual wisdom, we have to put everything down. Let go of everything. Be light. Nothing is you anymore. Your house is not yours because, well, you go here and there and the house is just one place. You cannot bring it with you. Your body, your hair, it's for you temporarily, but it is still not yours because your hair will slowly leave you. This is not you leaving the house, but your hair also leaves you. Day by day, it falls off. It grows less. Your teeth starts to rot. Some people have fake teeth now. Your organs have its own lifetime. After its time, it worked hard, it's done, it leaves you. You cannot control and ask it to be, please be healthy and work for my body for another 10, 20 years. No, it leaves when it wants. You have no control. It is not really yours. There are thousands of cells in your body die every second, and new one grows. It has its own life force. It is not yours. Your mind, your brain, at the end of its time, when it wants to leave you, your memory, it slows down. It doesn't store anymore. You start to forget. You can't think as fast. So if you think about it, it's really not yours. So this is borrowing. And when time is done, it leaves you, or you leave it. You cannot ask it to live longer. You cannot ask to live shorter. It is not yours to control. And you have to know that it is dirty. That's why every day you have to shower, brush your teeth, wash your hair, your hands. All the mucus that comes out, the odor that you excrete is smelly. You have to wash, or people spray perfume. They use a lot of product just to try to cover all the germs, bacteria, the smelliness, trying to make themselves better. It is weak. It gets sick. Its life is short term. The longest, I would say, 120. You suffer from the hot and cold weather, any outside force that is stronger than this body. So you have to be able to reflect this and ask yourself, is this where you want to be? If the question of, and then what? And then what? Till you come to a final conclusion and you realize that everyone is the same, rich, poor, average, anyone. And is this the road you want to take? And if your answer is no, you want to be better, a more stronger eternity beings with absolute knowledge, then you can continue your studies of opening the doors to your spiritual wisdom and reach enlightenment. There are about 250 rules for a monk to follow, and about 350 rules for a woman monk to follow. These rules will help you to be able to truly meditate your mind and your true heart and be at peace, and then it will open up your knowledge of wisdom. But the main ones are no killing any sentient beings, any living creature basically that has a conscience, can feel, no greed, no anger, no desires for other genders, no indulgence of substance, alcohol, weed, drugs, no lies or flowery words. Everything has to be truth. No dancing, singing, no dressing up to perfume, things that allure others, no sleeping in big, tall beds. These are the main ones. The other ones are no eating 2 times a day, once a day, before 1, no eating any sentient beings no onions, garlic, any family of them. It's just because their substance make your heart and your blood pressure beats faster. It is easier for you to be more angry, greedy, desires grow, and it discretes a very strong odor. You want to be at a state where you don't need a perfume, but you still smell good, like a flower next to a person. So without eating these onions and garlic, it will help you to be able to keep your rules, which will help you to meditate and become peaceful at heart and reach enlightenment. To remain always at peace is you always have to reflect on your mind, and then your speech, and then your action, because the mind triggers first, and then your mouth starts to throw out words, and it may lead to bad actions. So if you can keep your mind always at peace, which is not always easy, so you can think it, but you have to maintain your words. You do not gossip. You do not speak of unnecessary words. You don't gossip about the Lee family, the Pham family, this family, that party. And if you ask, if you don't gossip and people come to you and they start gossiping, what do you do? Well, because there are a lot of evil and bad things around us, the only method that is useful during this time is pray Namo Ayi Da Phật. So if any bad thoughts or words that wants to come out and you want to suppress that evilness, the thoughts, the words, just say, pray Namo Ayi Da Phật. And when people come and gossip and want to gossip with you, you also say Namo Ayi Da Phật. They will eventually and slowly understand that you do not gossip, and they will no longer gossip with you if you have no response. But again, there are a lot of evil around us, so it is the best method, but it may take a long time. So even if you have bad thoughts and you suppress it by praying Namo Ayi Da Phật to suppress the bad, evil thoughts that the sentient beings built for years. If you can control that and control it from you speaking of it, it will not lead to an action. Because if you don't inflict hurtful words or useless words to other, it cannot create to any destructive action. Again, during this evil, bad times, the only method is to pray Namo Ayi Da Phật to suppress that evil thought and words. You can pray Namo Ayi Da Phật before you sleep, when you wake up, when you're washing the dishes, the laundry, drinking water, just any time. It will just keep your mind from wandering to evil thoughts. It will keep your mind at peace. And with this constant peace and light spirit of nothing holding you back in this world, then your true self, yourself, what you really own, you will be able to open the door to the spiritual wisdom. But if you cannot be at peace and there are things in this world to hold you back, your thoughts, you cannot open that door. This is the only way and the only method where you can reach enlightenment, because it is now, as they say, the end of Buddha's teaching. Most books are no longer original. People have written and translate to how they understand. They cut and make it shorter so people read it. They say they understand, but they really don't. And they may say a few things that are right, and then the rest is not Buddha's teaching. How you can tell? Well, you have to, of course, know Buddha's teaching, read his books to understand his rules, his words. Then when you hear other people preach it, you can then compare if it's what exactly he's saying. But then again, I said some books are no longer original. They have cut and paste. And then you can see how they live. Are they eating once a day? Are they just eating veggie, non-sentient beings? Are they sleeping only 4 to 5 hours a day? Spending a lot of time in meditation to reach peace? Are they wearing jewelries, flowery clothes, perfume to make them look good? Basically, if they are keeping with all the rules, then you can tell that that person is a teacher you can rely on. But if they don't follow the rules and say, oh, it's the 21st century, we have to adapt, then you know it is not true. Not a teacher you want to follow. And now that you can keep all the rules, and now you have reached the peaceful determination, there are different stages of the meditation. I think there are 6 to 7 meditation stages, but the first one is where you feel very happy all the time, not where you're laughing and going ha ha ha, but just like truly happy. You always want to be alone. You always want to meditate, because within that meditation, you're just always peaceful and happy. Some people get stuck there and they become addicted to that meditation state. You can't be addicted to anything, not even the meditation of peaceful happiness state. You have to be able to even get out of that. And then you will reach to the next meditation state. Some people just can't get out, and they end up just being able to go to heavens of the meditation. But of course, after you go to heaven of the meditation, at the end of your time there, you still die and reincarnate. It depends on what you did during your lifetime on earth. You can still reincarnate as an animal and go to hell. But of course, if you didn't do anything bad, kill any animals or gossip, you always do good, then of course you reincarnate back as a person again. Yes, there are 33 heavens. There are heavens for the people who don't desire. There are heavens for people with a little bit more of a desire, but of course not as strong as a human. And there are heavens for people who meditate, but they are all in the sixth realm I mentioned earlier: heaven, human, devil, hell, Atula. It's still within the life and death. There's one heaven, the 33rd heaven is the only one that is outside of the sixth realm and no more life and death. That heaven controls the other 32 heavens, the king of heavens. There's also, if you know, within those heavens, there's also a demon heaven, because that person did everything really good, do a lot of good deed, help a lot of people, reach meditation, open wisdom, but he was stuck at one phase, which is always praising himself that he done so many good. Oh, I've done this, I've done that, I've done so many things. And this is where he gets stuck and couldn't reach Nirvana. So he himself has become a demon of heavens, not the demon in hell, but the demons in heaven. Don't ask me how I know, but ask yourself why you don't know. And if then you understand why you don't know, then you will know why I know. So during this last day and age of the Buddha's teaching, the only best way is to pray Namo Ayi Dafa, to suppress any evil, bad thoughts. And then if you want to gossip, say any bad, evil words, just say Namo Ayi Dafa instead of saying any unnecessary words. And to keep the rules that I've mentioned, those are the main one, and be able to let go of everything and have peace of mind, peace of heart, then you will reach and open up your spiritual wisdom and reach enlightenment, Nirvana. Namo A Di Đà Phật.